Hello everyone, it is Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Thank you for joining me in my little corner of the internet where we talk all things planners, fountain pens, and fountain pen inks. And today I'm going to do a progress update on all of the pens and inks I've acquired or used or sold within the last 3 months, or January, February, and March. So I realized I haven't actually done this. Normally I do this with my, sorry, I'm trying to button up my sleeve here. Normally I do this in my progress updates with my currently inked, but realized I haven't actually done it. And I even created a whole section in my pen and ink journal for this, so I might as well use it. But don't worry, I have my handy dandy spreadsheet to walk me through this as well. So I will be keeping up to date in my Hobonichi A5 notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. And I'm going to be using a variety of pens today just because I feel like it. All right, let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the month of January, and I'm going to be using my Esterbrook Model J in Violet, and this has Pen BBS Strawberry Milkshake. So pens is the first one here, and the pens that I've purchased, I only purchased one in, no, that's not true. Already I'm wrong. 2 in January, and I even have to double check what that one is, which those, oh my goodness, my brain. So the 2 that I purchased while for the month of January were my Platinum. Oh my gosh, where is it? It is my, no, wrong. Oh my gosh. The 2 pens that I purchased in January, the first one was my Memento Magico, so the Leonardo Memento Magico in Amethyst, and then the other pen that I purchased was my Hogtown pens, and this is in the Swansea model, and it's the Conway Stewart Opal. So those were the 2 pens that I purchased in January. I did not, let's see here. I was not gifted any, so 0, and I did not sell any either. So my pen number went up 2. So for the month of January, I had 60 pens. And then when we go to ink samples, I purchased 10. I was gifted 11. And I used or gave away 6. So I went up actually 15 to 75. And then when we go to bottles, did I purchase any? I purchased 1 bottle in January. And I'm trying to remember what that was now. I'm not going to be able to tell you which samples I got, but yeah. So which bottle did I buy in 2026? And I'm looking through my spreadsheet here. Can't find it. Need to reorganize this. Okay, so the bottle that I bought in January. What did I buy in January? Oh my gosh. I can't remember now. And the ink bottle that I was gifted, I was also gifted an ink bottle. And, oh no, that's incorrect. I was 12. Wow, my system's working out well for me. And I gave away 2. So my number actually went up by 11. And that meant my ink bottle collection was at 93. Wow. And this is me just basing it off on the data that I have in my spreadsheet. I remember the 12 ink bottles. That was the Zodiac ink collection with the 12 different inks and the 12 shimmers as well. So that one was a huge set of inks that I got from Endless Pens, and they were beautiful, but not for me, as you'll see in my February update. My February update will go with pens first. I purchased 1 pen in February, and that was my Platinum 3776 in the Fuji Unkai. And oh my gosh, loving it so much. And then let me take a look at my stats here. And I was not gifted any, and I did not sell any in February. Then samples, I used one sample. I didn't really get any samples, and so I didn't purchase any. Purchased was 0, gifted 0, and then used or gave away was 1. Oh, I forgot to write for pens. I went up 1, so that meant my collection was at 61. With samples, I went down 1, so my collection was at 74. And then when we go to bottles, I purchased 1, which feels like a lot for me. And then I was gifted 1. And then I gave away 12. So that meant my collection actually went down by 10 to 83 bottles. It's really interesting to look at it like this on a month-to-month basis or over a quarter, just to see what my spending habits or acquiring habits or even giving away habits are alike. And then last but not least, we'll look at the month of March here. So for the month of March, in terms of pens, I did not purchase any, but I was gifted 1, and I sold 4. I go through, seasons of selling pens. So I went down 3 pens, so my collection is now at 58 pens. And then when we go to samples, let's see here. I didn't purchase any. Purchasing, I'm doing really well here. And I was gifted 5, which I got from a fountain pen meetup. And then samples that I used or gave away, there were 8. So I actually went down 3 to have 71 samples. However, I was looking through my list of samples on my spreadsheet, as well as the samples I actually have in person, and trying to reconcile the two. And I think the number is off somewhere, and I'm going to have to look through it again. But 71 is the number according to my spreadsheet. And then lastly, bottles. So bottles, I did purchase 1, which was a bit of a disappointment. I have purchased 1 ink bottle each month this year so far. Let's not do that again in April. And then I was also gifted 1 again from the same fountain pen meetup. And then I gave away 0. So my fountain pen ink bottles went up to 85. Wow. So there's all my stats for the first quarter of 2026. And why is it important for me to be able to keep track of my spending, but also keep track of what I'm accumulating and what I'm letting go of? For me, this is a way that I keep a handle on my collection, but also a way to keep a handle on what I'm consuming and what I'm buying. And that's important for me. I know not everybody does this, and that's absolutely okay, but this is what works for me to help me appreciate my collection, but also to curb my spending. And I'm the type of person where I'm a user rather than a collector. So I want to make sure that the numbers that I do have are sustainable for me. Although when I look at the number of inks, especially the bottles, that's definitely not something that, I don't need 83 bottles of ink, and I'm definitely not going to work through 83 bottles of ink before my lifetime, but that's a different story. So let me know down in the comments below, do you keep track of what you've purchased and what you've sold, etc., in your own collection? And if so, why? What's your purpose for doing that? Like I said, for me, it's to keep track of my habits. This is essentially like a habit tracker in a sense. I'm just noticing that my nail color matches March. Anyway, I like doing these in quarterly spurts because even on a month-to-month basis, you won't be able to see the patterns essentially. But if you're doing this over the basis of a quarter, so 3 months, then you can really tell what's been happening. I feel like the spending is a little, I say low in the first quarter of the year because you don't have as many things coming out. But then comes the summer, and then you're going to hit the fall with all of the sales, and then you get, Fountain Pen Day and Black Friday. So it could be completely different for other times in the year. So for me, good to keep track and good to see what my habits are like, even when it comes to how I use my pens and inks. I think one of the reasons why I wanted to do this as well was because I'm working on a video for how I'm appreciating what I have in my collection and the different ways that I'm doing that. And one of the ways that I was looking at was also being mindful of what I have, and this definitely helps me be mindful of that. All right, now that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. What are your thoughts on this as well? And let me know down below. All right, don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe. Thanks again and have yourselves a great day.